little crazy to think about this. Growing up, my sister wasn't really the Barbie doll girl, but she had a Barbie doll. I mean, every girl had a Barbie doll. But she was more into, like, GameCube, Nintendo, playing video games, which I like doing. But as a boy as I am, growing up, I did grab a Barbie doll one time and cut her hair off, and there was one time I tried to set her on fire. It did not work, but I tried to set the Barbie doll on fire.
Here's Johnny. My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. Expecto Patronum!
Barbie stars Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling and is about Barbie suffers a crisis that leads her to question her world and her existence. From director Greta Gerwig, who gave you Lady Bird, which is awesome, the remake of Little Women, now comes Barbie, a movie everyone has been talking about because she wrote this script with Noah Baumbach, her husband, who gave us Marriage Story. So that alone, before this movie was even like coming out, I was like, they're writing a script together about Barbie? Then you had Margot Robbie as Barbie. I was like, perfect. Ryan Gosling as Ken. And then the entire cast list came out, and it's insane. So we're here to talk about Barbie. Let me just say this right off the bat. This movie is going to create conversation. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's going to create conversation that you are allowed to comment and have your own opinion on. But let me just say, as a 23-year-old man, a boy, I really enjoyed this movie. There is so much good in this movie, but I have to begin with the script. This script is so strong and so well written. It's a very funny movie, and it's a movie about Barbie, but it's also a PG-13 movie that, again, Barbie dolls have been around for a long time, and this movie pokes fun at that aspect of being so old and growing up in the 21st century and how they've kind of moved on. And Mattel made this movie, and they're making fun of themselves, which I appreciate, but Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach's script goes more into feminism, which is a huge thing in this movie, and I don't want to get more into it because economy, and people are gonna be like, what is the Barbie movie doing with this entire subgenre? And it is. This movie has a lot going on, what it's saying and doing with the Barbie product. For me, as a person that loves movies, that's creative, and they did it in an aspect where it's not just hitting you in the face so much, it's also entertaining you with Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling going into the real world and finding out the real world is pretty sucky. Just go back to Barbie world, which when we're in Barbie world, production design, costume design, the lighting, every actor in this entire cast, the Barbies and Kens, all of them, they're all playing their parts serious, but what you're watching on screen is so fun and silly. Greta Gerwig's direction is amazing. She is such a great writer and director, and in this movie, she creates an atmosphere of just fun, but it's a fun fake reality that in the story feels real. That's so weird to say in a Barbie movie, but they did that, and this movie is just fun, but again, it's gonna create conversation that's gonna get overblown and people are gonna be stupid about it. For me personally, I was enjoying them being very feminist. They were talking about how men kind of suck today. They're talking about the business and women, how they're treated, and how objects can be women in conversations, and it's going towards that with the Barbie doll. To me, that is so different and creative. I love that. Now, this cast is honestly too huge to go through, but everyone is just amazing, but the standouts for sure are Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. Margot Robbie is just, she's an amazing actress. She's gorgeous. Amazingly gorgeous. When she was cast as Barbie, I knew she was gonna be perfect. She's perfect as Barbie. She is literally the perfect Barbie, and her character and her crisis is actually very emotional in some parts, and she does a great job. But then you have Ryan Gosling as Ken. I don't want to spoil much. All I'm gonna say is, he is Ken, and he is flat out stealing scenes in this movie. Ryan Gosling is so good in this movie. If somehow, if he gets nominated for a supporting actor, that'll be amazingly great. But man, he's flat out great in this movie. I mean, everyone in this movie is really good. But one of my big criticisms that kind of just disappointed me was Will Ferrell. He is the CEO of Mattel, and that entire subplot and Will Ferrell felt unneeded. It didn't feel funny. A lot of jokes fell very big flat. There's a scene where he's chasing Barbie through the offices, and they're in the real world, but it feels like they're in a Barbie world, which is all fake and supposed to be plastic. And to me, it didn't work. His character was very much talking more about feminist and men and the CEO work life. Like, it's definitely hitting on the nose. So, disappointingly, Will Ferrell, I love Will Ferrell, but he was not funny in this movie, and I did not care for any of the Office people. Seriously, any of that stuff. But the family dynamic between this mother and daughter and Barbie, that's where it hits home and leads to an ending that's very emotional, and it actually hits you. There's a part where I was like, am I feeling this? Like, am I choking up a little bit in Barbie? Like, I give this movie so much credit. The cast knows what they're doing. Greta Gerwig makes just a well-made movie with the production design, the costuming, which I think is Oscar-worthy. All of it. All the little cameos, this cast. I mean, there's just so much in this movie. Kate McKinnon, I love her as Weird Barbie. She was so funny. There are many funny parts, but if I had to go with my criticisms, I mean, some jokes do not land, and some of it was like big scenes. I had a big crowd, and no one was really laughing. But then other moments, it hit real hard, and it was pretty funny. There is one scene with Helen Mirren as the narrator. She says something about Margot Robbie that had me laughing. And the final shot, the final word in this movie, had my entire crowd dying, including myself. In the end, I had a great time with Barbie. I have a few little issues there and there, maybe a little too long. Will Ferrell's subplot, some jokes didn't land. But this conversation about feminism and the Barbie product and women in general, and includes men, which people are going to talk about how this movie's hating on men. I disagree because of the Ken character, gets his development as a character. Barbie has a lot more going for it, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. I'm going to give Barbie an A-. This is a great summer movie to go see in the theaters, truly. Like, it's funny, it's heartwarming, it's poking fun at just the economy and just what women and men are now, and I enjoyed it. I think Greta Gerwig knocked it out of the park. She is one of the best, if not the best, female director working right now. She's 3 for 3 for me, at least. I really enjoyed this movie. Anyway, guys enjoyed this movie review, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.